You ever had your food stolen? That gut punch moment when you're starving, craving that one snack you bought, only to find it gone. Yeah, that was me. But unlike most people, I had access to something dangerous. Something that turned an ordinary revenge story into a fiery lesson nobody would forget. If you've ever dreamed of that sweet taste of payback, smash that subscribe button and like this video. This story isn't just about stolen snacks. It's about justice served sizzling hot. And I promise you, the ending will leave you grinning. Let's dive in. It all started in the summer. I had landed an R&D internship with a food company in Keokuk, Iowa. Now, for anyone who doesn't know, Keokuk isn't exactly the shining jewel of the Midwest. Honestly, it felt like the armpit of Iowa. Still, I was grateful. It was a stepping stone in my career, and they even set me up with housing at the local college dorms. Sounds nice, right? Not really. These weren't your typical college dorms. The building used to be a retirement home, so instead of lively student halls, imagine narrow hallways, outdated wallpaper, and a faint smell of, well, decades. Each of us had our own room and bathroom, but there was one massive, shared commercial kitchen. And that's where the nightmare began. At first, it seemed manageable. There weren't many students around since it was summer. Just me and two others who had been allowed to move in early for fall semester. One of them was practically invisible. I rarely saw him. But the other, oh, he made his presence known. Always hanging around, always inviting his buddies over like the place was his personal clubhouse. Now, here's the unspoken rule of any shared kitchen. Don't touch other people's food. Simple, respectable, universal. But apparently, this guy never got the memo. It started small. I'd grab a soda after work, only to realize a few cans had vanished. Then a box of cereal emptied, put back neatly on the shelf like some twisted prank. Crackers gone. Milk levels suspiciously low. At first, I thought, maybe I'm imagining things. Maybe I forgot. But no, this was theft. Bold, repeated, unapologetic theft. I tried to handle it the civil way. I put up a big sign on the fridge. Don't eat other people's food. Blunt, clear. You'd think that would do it. Nope. A few days later, I confronted both roommates directly. Awkward conversation, lots of fake innocence.
Oh, really? Wow, that sucks, man.
But guess what? My food kept disappearing, especially on weekends when I traveled out of town. That's when the thieves feasted. By week 3, I was at my breaking point. It wasn't about the food anymore. It was about respect. About being treated like I didn't matter. I felt powerless in my own space. And that sting cuts deeper than hunger. That's when I vented to my manager at the food company. And instead of brushing it off, they leaned in, smirked, and said, "Why don't we give them a taste of their own medicine?" At first, I thought they were joking. But then my manager handed me the golden idea. See, as part of my R&D role, I had access to food ingredient suppliers, and among those, capsaicin extracts. For those who don't know, capsaicin is the chemical that makes chili peppers burn. And I'm not talking about the mild kick in your average hot sauce. I'm talking pure concentrated fire. I placed a few orders under the guise of testing flavor profiles. Soon enough, a package arrived with 3 little bottles, 50,000 Scoville units. And the crown jewel, 250,000 Scoville. To put that in perspective, jalapenos sit at about 5,000 Scoville. Ghost peppers around 1,000, so yeah, this stuff was basically liquid punishment. That night, I suited up. Gloves, mask. Because one whiff of this stuff could ruin your lungs. I poured some of the 250K extract into a travel-sized spray bottle, mixed with water to help it spread. Then, like a mad scientist preparing his experiment, I went to work. The targets. The exact foods these freeloaders kept stealing. The cereal box sprayed. The chips and crackers carefully separated, misted, dried, then mixed back in. The milk jug, oh, just a little on the rim. Enough to transfer. And the soda cans, each lip got a generous coat of pure hellfire. I was careful. Surgical. I did it all in an empty dorm room down the hall because I knew how potent this stuff was. The air stung even through my mask. My heart was racing the whole time, and not from fear, but from anticipation. I wasn't just defending my food anymore. I was setting a trap. That weekend, I went out of town again. The perfect bait. When I returned, the battlefield told the story. The cereal box was lighter. The chips bag crinkled with less inside. 2 of the doctored sodas, gone, and the milk, definitely tampered with. The best part? Silence. No confrontation, no complaints. Nobody ever said a word. But from that day forward, my food remained untouched. For the rest of the month, not a single cracker, not a single sip of soda disappeared. They learned. Oh, they learned. And though I didn't get to see their fiery comeuppance with my own eyes, I can still imagine it. Picture it with me, some smug thief cracking open my soda, taking that first refreshing gulp, only for their lips to feel like they kissed the sun. Or munching on my cereal, only to realize their throat is turning into a furnace halfway through the bowl. Maybe even chugging my milk in desperation, thinking it would help, when in reality, they just swallowed more fire. Sweet, glorious, justice. That was the end of the theft problem. And honestly, I like to think they'll never forget it. Somewhere, years later, when they reach for someone else's food, they probably hesitate, remembering the time they messed with the wrong intern. For me, it wasn't just about the food. It was about reclaiming control, proving that I wasn't powerless. And man, nothing tastes better than revenge, especially when it's seasoned with 250,000 Scovilles of regret. If there's a lesson here, it's simple: respect what isn't yours. Because sometimes, in crossing a line you think is harmless can lead to a punishment you'll never forget. So, what do you think? Was the revenge justified, or maybe a little too spicy? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your take. And if you've ever witnessed a satisfying act of revenge, share that too. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more stories where karma gets the last laugh.